Um, that's a tough thing to say. I'd say early on, within our first year of being a band, our founding guitar player left, and we thought the band was going to be over because he was the kind of the chief songwriter of the band and a very talented guy. And we made a decision that we were going to keep going without him, and I had to step up my songwriting and become a bigger part of that process. And that was challenging for me to figure out how to write these kinds of songs, and but it's been very rewarding now. Obviously that we've made a go of this, and I'm proud of the songwriter I've become. The best advice, and advice that I continue to pass on, is don't burn bridges and kill them with kindness. And it's like there's nothing better than when to take the high road, when someone's a dick to you or whatever. Yeah, and it's always funny in this music industry too how people just come back. People you think are down here and are always going to be down here, eventually they're up here above you. So you gotta really respect everybody, and it's really important. And in terms of the worst advice I've ever been given, I was I was told once. Sorry, let me try to rephrase this. Well, we were told to work with a producer one time, and we shouldn't have worked with him, and that's my biggest regret in our whole band is making this album with this producer who, yeah, I was told was going to be great, and no. So that's the only. I think that's the worst advice I was ever given. I don't think there's like a certain thing, because people with all different kinds of personalities and different talents can be successful, and like, you don't have to be, you can be, I think it's almost the best thing is to be yourself and be honest about who you are, because there's nothing more awkward than somebody who's shy or introverted trying to fool everyone into thinking he's not.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or the opposite, So I think you have to let yourself and your personality dictate, who you are and what your role is. And I think if you force it, even internally in a band, I think you need to just be yourself, and hopefully your personalities mesh with other people, and that works in terms of what you're trying to create and what you're trying to represent. I don't think there's any one thing. I think just taking this little band from a basement as a side project in Canada around the world, and like, I don't even know how many times we've played Germany, like dozens and dozens of times, and we've been to Australia like 10 times, and Asia and Japan and everything. It's like we just never thought we would get out of Canada at all, let alone travel the world. So that's something like I wake up every day and for a second I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. To be completely fucking honest, I'm still learning.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that the more you learn, the less you know. And it's amazing how, like, every day, some even simple things, like, in terms of like music, like contracts or the way record deals work, or like even things like that. Sometimes something will come up. It's like I've been doing this for 16 years and I still don't know all the ins and outs of everything, and I don't think I ever will. And especially now with music evolving so much with the way people are listening to it and the way it's being sold. You know, that's definitely changing, and it's definitely something that you have to be on your toes. That you have to be adaptable,
Okay.
and you have to be open-minded. And if you don't know something, it's important to admit that you don't know it, and to learn about it. I think that that's one thing, because it's not simple. There's not rules like in place like some other industries. It's ever changing, and really, like, you can do kind of anything, and not every industry is like that.